Hi, everyone. This is Keeper. With all of the, how do I put it, challenges that Black people are having, particularly Black men are having with law enforcement and just this oppressive feeling more than normal that we are in danger, our lives are at risk. This feeling isn't anything new to us. We have felt this from the moment that we are born, or from the moment that we are born, that your skin color is going to dictate a lot of what you're able to do. But more importantly, it's going to dictate most of what you can't do, regardless of your education, your economic standing, your standing within the community. Your skin color is going to predetermine, in the eyes of many white people, who you are, what you are, and more importantly, why you are. I'm going to share something that recently happened to me that is very difficult for me to talk about. I've told my family about it, and every time I share the story, it just grips me in a way in a way nothing has ever grabbed hold of me. I'm 63 years old. I will be 64 in 7 months, in December, end of December. And I have seen a lot of things. I've experienced a lot of things. I have experienced things that people should never experience. I've seen things people should never see. But it happened. I was recently in Connecticut to visit a friend of mine who was at a rehab facility, a friend of mine named Gene. And I had never been to Connecticut before. But before I get into that story, let me give you a little bit of context. You already know that I'm Black. In 1977, on my prom night, my date nine, we were driving to a house party. And I got pulled over by LAPD. And I was asked to get out of the car. My date was asked to get out of the car. Now keep in mind, we're 18, 19 years old. And I was asked to hand over my driver's license, which I did. And I was told they are looking for a Black man, 6'6", driving a white VW. I'm 5'9". I was driving a Cadillac. Not even in the vicinity of what they were looking for. But what they made me do, just so they could be entertained, in my rented, new, powder blue tuxedo, I was told to lie face down on the ground while one of the two officers went to do their identity check. I was clean, no arrest record, no record of any kind in my past. As I lay on the ground, metal was pushed against my head. I was told not to move. The officer put a gun to my head. My date was a mess. My girlfriend was a mess. I had to lie on the ground for minutes with a gun pressed against the back of my head. They knew I wasn't their guy, but they were having fun on this particular night, prom night. What if the person lost their balance? The officer lost his balance and fired the gun. Anything could have happened. Anything could have happened. 1993, my wife and I, on a rainy night in Southern California, were on the freeway. I feel a flat tire. Driving to Yukon, flat tire. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, can I get home? Because the city where I'm at, Encino, I do not want to stop in the rain at around 11 o'clock at night. No way do I want to do that. But my tire had a mind of its own. It decided, you are getting off at Havenhurst now. So I pulled off the road. When you get off the road in Encino, off Havenhurst, you are immediately dropped into a residential district. Now, Encino is a very wealthy white neighborhood. And I'm thinking, fuck, I do not want to be here. But it's raining. My wife is in the front seat. She's pregnant with our daughter. My son, Ben, 2.5 years old, is in the back in a car seat. I get out, jack up the car, put the flat tire off to the side, grab the spare. The next thing you know, flashing red lights are around me. And I'm thinking, God damn it. I don't want to be here. I can't be here. The officer gets out of the car and asks me, what are you doing in this neighborhood? He can see the car is jacked up. He can see the flat tire is right next to me. He can see the new tire that I'm going to put on. The spare tire is right here. And he asks me, what am I doing in this neighborhood? I just look up at him because I'm on the ground. I do not move. I've got the spare tire. I'm holding it. And I just look up. I'm changing a flat tire. He walks around to the passenger side of the car. Has my wife roll down the window. She's white. Flashes the flashlight at her. Leans in. Flashes the flashlight on my son. Walks around to me. It says, hurry up. Gets in his car, drives away. Like, God damn it. How would he know to show up at 11 o'clock in the evening, in the pouring rain, in the dark, unless someone in that neighborhood called the police? That's the setup. I don't want to be in that neighborhood. So last month, I go to Connecticut to visit a very dear friend of mine, Gene. This guy's like a brother to me. Love Gene to death. I land in New York, hop on the subway, make my way to Connecticut. Fairfield. Get there just in time to tell him hi, because visiting hours, I had about 5 minutes. So I know I'm going back the next day. Gene's daughter is there, and we go to dinner. She treats me to pizza, and we go into this restaurant. And as we're sitting there talking, she's telling me, Fairfield, this part of Fairfield it's a college town. It is so cool here. It is absolutely so cool. It's college city. That's all they think about. They're extremely liberal. They're extremely open-minded about everything. And as I look around the restaurant, I only see one black person in the restaurant. And that black person is my reflection off the glass that she's drinking from. I'm like, okay. And so she's telling me all this. And I say, well, Fairfield may be okay for you. She said, no, it's okay for everyone. She then goes on to tell me that Fairfield is one of the richest counties in Connecticut. She tells me that about 9 billionaires live in Fairfield. Of the approximately 13 to 15 billionaires in Connecticut, I said, well, that number's low. It's got to be a lot more than 15 for Connecticut. She said, but, there's 9 billionaires. And I said, okay, that's good to know, I guess. So we finish up, and I make my way to my hotel. My friend's facility is a little more than a mile from me. And I decide I don't want to Uber, I'm just going to walk. Take me 15 minutes. If I just walk slow, it's going to take me 15 minutes. So it starts to rain. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's raining, but it's not dark. And I get my phone out so I can get my directions. I'm like, okay, cool. This is going to take me right to where it is I need to go. Right here. Here's the facility. I walk down the street. Not a problem. Everyone's cool. Go down to the corner. Cross the street. And immediately start to walk into a residential district. And I say to myself, okay, I got to get out of here quick. I got to get to my friend quick. I don't belong here. And I have no idea how these people are going to react seeing a black man walking through their neighborhood wearing his COVID mask. I have no idea how they're going to act. So I start to walk, and I've got my phone out the whole time. I'm just walking. But the map, Google Maps, is not changing fast enough. And I'm thinking, okay, I got to get out of here. I don't belong here. But I keep walking. I go down to the recommended street. Do I go right or do I go left? Google Maps tells me nothing. So I make a right. And I start walking. And I'm thinking, no, this is not right because my friend is in the other direction. I've got to go back the other way. So I get to the corner and I start to walk in his direction. And then Google Maps tells me, no, go straight. So I back up and I go straight up the road thinking this is not right, but I have got to get the hell out of here. I don't belong here. I walk about 40 feet and I turn back and say, no, this is not right. This is not right. So I go back across the street, walk about 40 feet, and I come back and I'm thinking to myself, okay, fuck. People are beginning to wonder, what am I doing going back and forth? What is this black man doing in our neighborhood walking back and forth? Because I'm thinking the same thing. Someone's going to get me in trouble. So I walk back across the street and go back towards my friend who's to the left of me. Google Maps stops, says go back the other way. I'm like, okay, enough of this. I'm going to go back to the main street. There's a gas station there. I get to the gas station. There are 4 pumps. 3 of the pumps are being used. I'm thinking, okay, I can go ask those people. And I look, I'm like, okay, I cannot ask those people. These people are white. This is not going to go well for me at all. I look past them and I look into the gas station and there's a black guy. This brother's behind the counter. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go ask him. So I go in, I say, yo, man, I'm new to Connecticut. I've never been here. Can you tell me how to get to Mill Plain? I'm going to visit a friend who's at a rehab facility. I just need to get to Mill Plain. It's about a mile away. He said, okay, no problem, man. I'm new here. Do you have Apple Maps? I said, no. I have a Samsung. I have Google Maps. He said, not a problem. Shoot me your phone number right now and I'll send you the map. Not a problem. Cool. Done. Sweet. This is going to be done. He sends the map and I look at it. That's the same map I've got. So I decide to follow his map knowing it's the same map that I have. Go up, go across the street, go back, the same thing. I'm like, I have got to get out of here now. So I decide to walk west towards my friend's rehab facility, knowing I eventually have to get there. As I'm walking up the street, I'm thinking, man, these are very rich, wealthy homes. Just keep walking, just keep walking, just keep walking. I walk about 40 yards and a woman is coming out of her house. And I'm thinking, okay, just ask her if she can tell you how to get to Mill Plain. She's coming down the walkway, gets onto the sidewalk to go to the mailbox. And as I approach, I say, excuse me, I am trying to find Mill Plain. The whole time I'm showing her, here's my map. The whole time I'm walking back and forth, I have got my hands like this. I am like, I'm doing this so everyone sees, okay, he's trying to find where he's going. I'm thinking I have got to let them know I have a map. I'm trying to find a direction. I'm looking for an address. Thinking, God, this is so bad that I have to do this in order to survive, in order to make it home in 2 days. I asked the woman, I said, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Mill Plain? She says, oh, sure, that's not a problem. You go up this street, make a right, and it'll take you to Mill Plain about a half a mile. Thank you so much. As I passed her, I said, okay, I know why she was so friendly. She was Hispanic. She's the help. Of course, she's going to be friendly. I follow her advice. I keep going west. I make a right at the corner. And I start walking down. The whole time I'm doing this, I am forced to do this. So I am not arrested. So no one calls the police on me. So I am not killed. If you're not black, you have no idea what this feels like. If you're not a black man, you have no idea what we wake up to every day. I decide to keep going. I'm going to get to my friend. I'm walking down the street. Cars are passing me by. I'm on the right side of the street. And I'm just walking. And I'm doing this. I'm still doing this. Still doing this action. Damn it. About 50 yards ahead of me is a white woman. We're getting closer. There's a corner before we meet. Oh, did I tell you she's pushing a stroller? She's pushing her baby in a stroller. I'm thinking, oh, no, you cannot do this. You have got to get across the street. Cars are zooming by, just passing by. We are getting closer to each other. And I'm thinking, I've got to get across the street. I have got to get across the street. She stops. And just stares at me. I stop. You could just see the fear in her face. A black man is on the same side of the street, and the two of us are getting closer and closer. She came to a dead halt. There was a break in traffic, and I quickly made my way across the street and just started walking. Once I started walking up the street, she started walking. When she got to the corner, she made a left and started running with the stroller. I'm like, like, God damn it, she's going to call the police. She's going to call the police. I have got to get out of here. I'm still doing this. Everyone, I'm good. I haven't done anything. I'm innocent. I haven't done anything. All this is running through my mind as fear is gripping me. It had me by the throat. I just got to get out of here. I continue walking down the street. I pass a high school. Keep going, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. That's all I'm telling myself. Just keep going. No sudden moves, no nothing. Just keep going. I start to approach a corner. And as I get to the corner, I see to the right of me a guy working on a telephone pole. He's in that carriage and he's up high. And he's up on the telephone pole and he's around trees. Directly behind him is a police vehicle, an SUV. And I'm thinking, okay, I have got to ask this officer how to get to where it is I'm going. He's got to see that I'm doing this. He'll see that I'm doing this. I cross the street thinking, okay, I don't even want to cross the street in front of this officer. The officer is white. I get to the corner after crossing the street. The telephone guy and the officer is about 20 feet in front of me. And I'm thinking, okay, he's working on this telephone pole. Can I go underneath the tree? Can I go underneath him? The only other option is to walk out into the middle of the street to the driver's side where the officer is sitting. He has eyes locked on me. I'm like this. I'm making every gesture I can. I'm lost. Do I walk in the street? Hell no. I am going to be arrested for jaywalking. I am not walking in the street. Is it okay for me to walk underneath this city worker? Because in some parts of LA, it is against the law to do that. I don't know. The worker is also white. I don't know what to do. I stop. Go under or go around. I stop. I go under. But I'm doing this the whole time as I'm approaching the officer. And then I do this. I show him I'm looking for an address. He rolls down the window. And I said, officer, pardon me, I am looking for this rehab facility. It's on Mill Plain. Do you know where it is? Can you tell me how to get there? And he said, oh, sure. Not a problem. Yes, I can tell you where to go. Just go back the way you came, make a right, go down about 4 or 5 blocks, make a left. It's going to be about 60 yards to your left. Not a problem. Thank you. I turn around and I start to walk. The tree. The telephone worker. I go back to the officer and ask him if it's okay to walk underneath that tree. Is it okay? I had to go back and ask permission to walk underneath a fucking tree. God damn it. He says, oh, sure, but he has no idea what I'm dealing with. He has absolutely no idea the fear I'm in. And he probably could care less. I'm 63 years old and I went back and asked permission to walk underneath this tree. A tree that has reminded me of a lynching tree. It had a huge branch. And I'm thinking, God, I could be lynched here. But I'm a black man. And all bets are off. In America, today, all bets are off. Uh, this story, I cannot get it out of my head. I just can't. We are dealing with race issues in this country. We are dealing with race issues with members of my family today. Unless you are black in America, you don't get it. This is hundreds of years. It all came rolling on top of me. It just landed on me in a way it has never landed on me before. There are days I just think about. I'm 63 years old and I had to beg. I had to beg and plead for permission to walk underneath the tree so the officer doesn't get out of his car, unholsters his gun, and points it at me. Because that just happens all too often. I would have been another statistic. I never would have made it back to my wife if that officer had been a different officer. I have thought for weeks about whether or not to share this story. This one hurts. This story hurts. And what prompted me to come out and tell the story was the Buffalo mass murder. I just had to talk about it. And there's nothing else to say. There really isn't. Other than politicians, law enforcement, media, you have done so much harm to me simply for no other reason than my skin color is different than yours. This is what we deal with every day. I just wanted to share that.